I'm going to try to make a quick bunch of little videos and splice them together and kind of show you what we have growing here. Stepping out the front door, this pink lemonade honeysuckle vine just attracts all of the hummingbirds. And I've got flowers in my beds, the begonias, little geraniums that haven't bloomed yet in between, and colorful petunias and some more honeysuckle. And that pretty much does away with the need for hummingbird feeders. They just swoop and zoom throughout the day. I've got impatiens in this bed. We've mulched it really heavy, so it'll be easy to keep weeded. And oh my gosh, look at the damage the bears have done to these trees. We've got it in this big cart to haul away. That's where the bear was standing up and dancing in my Leland cypress trees. What's really amazing, just astounding, is the footprints that the bear left stomping past these trees. There's even a big footprint back there in right in the tree where he grabbed branches down, and they go all the way across the yard. That's what a 600-pound bear does when he's strutting his stuff. So over to the greenhouse. We were up early this morning before the sun came out and put the sunshade on the greenhouse. It was getting up to 104, 105 inside because of the amplified sun rays. And that sunshade will block out about 50% of the sun and keep it nice and warm and cool in there while they grow. Kind of looks like a construction zone. We had the ladders out, getting the sunshade up over it. It is 17 feet long and 21 feet wide. We'll pop into the garden in just a minute. Here is the greenhouse. And that is my new fan that can be set to come on at certain humidities and certain temperatures. And it can, when the doors are closed on the greenhouse, it can move all of the air inside the greenhouse out within a minute or two. So it keeps a nice circulation going. So I have a big tomato plant right inside the door here, and all kinds of really cool grow bags with cilantro and lettuce and a little bit of kale, some flowers. I've got some herbal teas started from seed up there, some more seedlings. Got extra dirt in grow bags. That is my radish patch down there. And I have okra and peas growing. And these are, I'm really excited about these. These are black-eyed peas, and I'll make soups and baked beans with those. And I have garlic and geraniums and some German chamomile for tea there. Some seedlings to transplant into larger containers. And that's my arugula for adding to salads, and some flowers, and in front more cilantro. I've got some empty things up here. Some marigolds to help deter certain pests. Garlic, phlox. Under here I've got some peppermint going. And these are my carrot bags. That should take a little over a month, and that bag should have full-size carrots in it, top to bottom, and I can just do it again. Those bags are full of half sand and half soil. Those carrots are not coming up well. They were different types, so I'll definitely stick with these. And that's my lemon tree, which is really happy to be out here after 4 years inside. It was in my craft room. And I've got a hydrant here to water everything. We've got really safe electric running out here with all kinds of different outlets to run a heater on cold nights, which we shouldn't have until the fall, and fans, and if I want to charge any of my devices while I'm out here. This is my favorite corner of the greenhouse. This tomato plant was planted a little over a month ago, and it is huge. It's already got tomatoes starting on it. And I've got some garlic growing down there and a basil plant. So it's basically my future bruschetta. And I call it Amelia's Kitchen because my crafty friend Amelia is a wonderful Italian cook. Over here I've got peppermint and a tomato plant to be transplanted probably to the garden. These are lunchbox sweet peppers, geraniums. My lavender is already blooming, and rosemary and some more marigolds. The marigolds and geraniums are great at battling pests. And these are hot peppers, and these will be black cornflowers. Really big purple burst of flower when they come in. Some more marigolds, cherry tomatoes, zinnias, little wandering Jew. Got sweet potatoes starting there, basil, and my cherry tomatoes have started to mature. And carnations, love growing carnations. And I have jalapeno peppers, hot chili peppers, some more chamomile. These are morning glories, both purple and blue, and they've already started vining up. And hopefully, I will be able to trellis them right across the top of the greenhouse so that you're actually walking through an arbor of flowers, and it will help with the shade as well. And another huge tomato plant. I planted this one about 2 weeks behind the other one, and it's already, chest high for my height. It's just huge. And we have more carnations and some petunias, which seems to attract the bumblebees. That's great for pollination. And we're back to the doorway there. So that's the state of the greenhouse right now. I'm walking out of the greenhouse. I've worn a little path down to the garden. And this is how we keep the bear and the deer and most of the bunnies and small critters out. This is a 8-foot high fence. It does really well at keeping this secure. And I either prop it open while I'm working, or it just pops shut there. And these are the grow bags that I have in the garden. That's chocolate peppermint for tea. And here we have chives and carnations, and this is lavender that was out here from last year. It's not supposed to be a perennial, but it came back on its own. And this is thyme, and is that rosemary? Yeah, that's definitely rosemary. And a huge thyme plant. This is lemon thyme, and it's been out here for several years and just keeps coming back every spring. And I chose to put my onions in grow bags this year. They're getting really big, really quick. And more onions and some marigolds to attract the pollinators. An old mailbox that I found and painted a few years ago to keep a few extra garden tools in. And this is amazing. This is called a simple pump. This is our well that provides all our water here. And there's a pump down there that runs on electricity. And if for any reason our pump goes out, or if we are for many, many days without electricity and have nothing left for our generator, we can just pump this, and it fills up the tank inside the house as if it was regular water feed, and we can take showers or run the dishwasher and then come out and pump some more. So it's kind of like a backup thing we have. And this is my pepper patch. I have bell peppers, hot peppers, jalapenos, habaneros. There's some cayenne in there. I think 2.5 of these rows are big bell green peppers. And next to that is my early lettuce, which I keep picking it and force feeding cog salads with every dinner, but we are not able to eat quick enough to keep up with the growth of it. And it's just been a wonderful lettuce year. These are my kale plants. About every 2 to 3 days I come out here and I pick a big bowl of kale and I make kale chips with Parmesan cheese in the oven. They're so good. And the cabbage. And those are all tomato plants. Now bear in mind, these little plants were planted at the same time in my greenhouse. The one that is almost the same height as me was. That's how much the greenhouse has been able to accelerate the growth. So coming back down to the bottom of the garden, where the tomatoes leave off there, this is all sweet potatoes. And in November or so, I'll come out here with a pitchfork, maybe October, and the rows will be just full of knots and little shoots of clusters of sweet potatoes. Got zucchini and yellow squash here, all happy tucked in the mulch. And this bed here is butternut squash. I love my butternut soup. And I planted these a few days ago in this mound of really healthy dirt topped with mulch. This is my cucumber patch. And yesterday I planted 2 rows of corn from seed, but the 2 rows in back of that, I tried an experiment that a local greenhouse owner does every year, which is to start her corn, which they say not to, in little pots and then transplant it. And it's 2 to 3 weeks ahead of everything else. So there's my corn, and that bare patch up there will end up having beans and sunflowers planted. So that's the upper garden. And then here is the lower garden. And in the lower garden, I have 5 big mounds of potatoes. And it's really funny, the 4th and 5th rows, they're doing okay. The 5th row is purple potatoes. And this was store-bought seed potatoes from the garden center. But the first 3 rows that are doing so well are a regular bag of potatoes that I had that I didn't use in soups. And I ended up, they grew eyes in the bag inside, and I planted them, and they're going to give us an enormous potato crop there. And I left some room to put in some kidney beans or more black-eyed peas out here. And I am weeding and mulching my strawberry patch. So that is the state of the garden. Well, thanks for joining me for an update, and it'll be interesting to see how tall all this is in another month from now. Thanks for popping in.